Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the weekly Wednesday Wargaming questions and answers. It's an off-the-cuff video, guys. What that means is I record and upload. There is no fancy editing skills. You won't see my intro song at the beginning. I do have a transition button, so if there's noise outside of my control, I can stop filming, wait for it to pass and carry on. These weekly Wednesdays essentially are Q&A. You guys ask me questions and I answer them. They are primarily model focused and it is primarily GW stuff, of which is primarily 40k. There is terrain questions from time to time, and there is some general information about myself and what's going on in the workshop. We have a weekly vote, which I get to when I'll tell you about when we get to it. I usually show a data card every week and go through a data card of a unit that I've used on the table, but I'm not going to do that this week because there's just a lot going on here, so I've not had time to go through and, you know, prep on that ready. And same as the vote for this week. I swapped it the other day. I think it was Monday I swapped it, I think, ready for today. There was a few things I was going to swap out as well and search for a few other models put in, but with what's going on I haven't been able to do that, so what's here is here, I'm afraid. There's no game this week. We were meant to play yesterday and the wife went to hospital on Monday afternoon. I dropped her there at 4:45. And they're keeping her until the weekend. She basically, without going into too much detail, she hurt herself internally whilst lifting something, and she didn't realise she'd done it, and it's just got worse over the last, for like a week or so, however long it's taken. Could have been 2 weeks, I don't know, but it's how long it's taken. And it got to a point where she was in so much pain she had to go to A&E, and they've kept her in. She's on a liquid diet at the moment, just so she doesn't hurt. She has inflammation and infection, in the internal part of her body, and she just makes sure that it doesn't tear or anything like that, because then she gets sepsis. So she's on a liquid diet. She's in there until Friday or Saturday. She's meant to be coming out. So we were meant to play yesterday, but because that happened, I said to my I don't know what's happening yet, because this is what's happening. He said to me, just no panic, just take care of your missus, make sure everything's okay. I penciled in Friday with him, and then I messaged him earlier to say, look, she could be out Friday or Saturday. I don't want to come and play and then I'm getting a call to come and get her, because she's being released in an hour. And we all know with the hospital, they tell you an hour, 3 hours later, you're still sitting there. So I didn't want to be in a position where we're having a great game and then I've got to stop, abandon the game and go. But he's not available tomorrow, and he's not available Friday either, because he's got something that's come up. So there's no game this week. Hopefully there's a game next week. We're, both should be able to. But then the week after is Christmas. So last year we had like 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks over Christmas off, just because it's family time. So next week's game might be the last game of the year, which it'll probably be the game we was meant to play yesterday, which is going to be a slobber knocker game. But yeah, that's what's been going on here. So I've literally, like yesterday, I picked her up from school, went to see her, came back, gave some food for a little one, and I was literally sorting myself out and went to work. I've been on standby as well, because if they decide that she can come home, then she's going to call me to come pick her up. So it's been a bit difficult last few days, and especially when I come home and there are things that are not done that she would have done whilst I was in work, and then coming home and having to do it the next day. And so there's a lot going on, because I was meant to put the Paragon War Suits video up yesterday, Tuesday, or the battle report. There's no battle reports. I said, I put the video up. I didn't even get a chance to look at the video, because I was just so busy trying to sort everything else out in the house and get stuff ready to take to her. That will go up tomorrow. I did that probably today and go up tomorrow, or edit it tomorrow and just upload it. But yeah, because I'm actually really pleased with the way the Val looks. So I need to have the Paragon War Suits finished. I don't want models that are half done here and there, and then I just want to get them done out of the way. So that's what's been going on with me so far this week. Okay, a bit of feedback from the calendar, because I was quite asked a question the other week about the calendar, my thoughts on it and stuff like that, and what I'm expecting to see in my armies. I'm going to say, because last weekly Wednesday when I answered the question, I was a bit stuck on a few things. I thought Necrons would be something to do with Catan. How wrong was I? I don't know. I think I haven't played Detachment yet, but when I first looked at it, I thought, what the hell's that? Now I've been able to think about it, I'm like, that's actually a bit overpowered. Having the Silent King just flash through a ruin for 1 CP. And I think they get assault on their weapons as well, the vehicles. So you can just advance straight through and then start blasting away with his big me and her things and his Staff of Light and Staff of Judgment, or whatever it's called. I think that's very powerful. I do want to put it on the table, but at the same time saying it, I think I'll wait for it to go on the app, which won't go on the app until after Christmas. 27th, 28th, something like that, it'll probably be updated on there. Or is there a Christmas data slate coming? I think there is. They'll probably happen at the same time. But yeah, that's very overpowering, especially thinking of like Ghost arcs, Doomsday arcs. I can just do that as well. Just go straight through and advance, and then especially with the 2 Gauls Flare arrays, 5 shots each, rapid fire 5 with lethal hits. I think they are, and I think they get +1 to hit as well. Do they? I think they get +1 to hit. Is it a +1 to hit, or is it +1 to hit if they're attacking a unit on objective? I think something like that. I know there's +1 to hit somewhere because I put a list together for the for Necrons, but it's the original combat's called now, where you have the hero leading the unit gets +1 to hit. I was just messing around with one of those detachments, so yeah, that's a bit nuts. One of my viewers talking about the York detachment. He wants to see a shooty York detachment, which I think is very good. I think it would be good, especially if it was something like certain units become battle line. And I keep harping on about armies having units become battle line that would not normally be battle line. I think that is the way that Games Workshop should go forward with detachments. Just really go forward that way. Just say like World Eaters, if you take this detachment and 8-bound become battle line, or something like that. I think that is the way to go forward with the detachments. But yeah, that would be very cool for Yorks. Just a mass, even if it was like each unit gains sustained hits 1. If they have sustained hits 1, then it becomes sustained hits 2, or something like that. And certain units then that are very shooty would become battle line. I think that'd be great. I haven't looked at the Imperial Knight one yet, or the Chaos Knight one. That was meant to be yesterday's game. It was meant to be Chaos Knights, the new list, new detachment versus Inner Circle, Dark Angel, the Dark Angel list the Dark Angel detachment, where the Deathwing have all the, this is the Deathwing one. It's in a circle or something, I can't remember where it is now. But anyway, that was meant to be. Yeah, I don't see. I'm still keen to see the World Eaters. I'm still keen to see the demons, and I really hope they don't break the demons down into their own, into the Chaos Legion. So Noggle into Death Guard, and I don't see them doing that. But I don't see them doing that from a monetary point of view, because they're going to be missing out on codexes and people actually just buying demon models for a demon army. If you have a Death Guard army and you have a demon army, but your demon army has a mixture of stuff, if they break it down, you're not going to buy any more but Noble demons, because you've got a Death Guard army just to put it in. I don't see them breaking the demons down. I hope they don't. Yeah, I'm keen to see the Eldari one actually, but I don't know. So I don't, like I said before, I don't want the Eldari detachment that comes out now to be from the Codex. You know, I want it to be something different. But yeah, it's still a big puzzling question. Well, a few of the armies. A few of the armies are just, I don't know, like, I never thought they did the Dark Age one they did the way they did. That was totally out of the box. But anyway, well, we shall see. So the Necron one really threw me off. I do think it's overpowered. I'd like to give it a go, but I'll wait until it hits the app. You know, just because if they do then realise that it's a bit too much, let's change this and change that. It's a bit more balanced. I'd rather have that. How long does it typically take you to do a Let's Build video? It depends on what I'm building, really. For example, if it's a single character, it could take me maybe an hour and a half. But that might only be like 15-20 minutes of filming for you guys. If it's a squad of guys, it could take me maybe 6 or 7 hours over the course of a couple of days. The Paragon War Suits, I've only got the 3 Paragon Superiors built at the moment, so I've got 3 squads of them. So I said I build one on camera, and then at the same time I'm building the parts for the other 2. I think that was about 7 hours, maybe about 7 hours, something like that. But you got, with the Paragon War Suits, you got to remember they're the type of models where you're putting the legs to the base and have to leave it to dry, so you can't just continuously work on it. And when I was building them, it was so cold. It was so cold out here. So I was literally building for, you know, 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours. I think it was about 2.5 hours or so. And then I'd be so cold, I have to go in, have a coffee, warm myself up. Next thing I'm in the house for an hour. And then it's like, I've only got a little bit of time before I go pick Matt up from school. So I can't come back and get into it. So okay, just leave it to dry then. The next day, then okay, let me do X, Y, and Z. In case I run out of time, I can leave that to dry. And then I went up, I actually edited the video. It was meant to go up Sunday. I started editing it to go up, and I was like, yeah, great, fantastic. And it started doing the same thing as what it was doing with the Sister Squad video, where it would not complete it as one complete video. It just kept throwing me out of the program. And I said, no, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going, keep just retrying it. And eventually I ended up forgetting about it and falling asleep. I woke up Monday morning, it was done. And I was like, I can't put it up on the Monday because it's Monday painting video. So I said, let me do it on the Tuesday then. Obviously everything happened, I wasn't able to. So that'll be going up Thursday anyway. But yeah, it depends what it is. I mean, and also depends on like how many parts. So like the Rogel Dornbell tank, I think that took me about, I would say about 7 or 8 hours, around that sort of time maybe. I'm not sure. I can't really remember because it was a long time ago. The reason I'm using that is, for an example, is because there's a lot of big parts, but they're solid parts. So once you've got the tracks together and you've got the little fitted bits of tracks on, you're putting big pieces onto the whole. Same as the Land Raider. Land Raider takes me about, I think, like an hour to build, an hour and a bit, because it is big. Once you've got the big pieces, sorry, once you've got the tracks on, the rest of it is just, you know, straightforward. I think I built the Chaos one first of all. I built the normal Space Marine one, which isn't finished because I want to finish it and then come and paint it at the same time. And I need this for another job I need to get done. But anyway, when I was building that, because I already knew what I was doing, literally I was building the las cannons go on the side, and I wasn't even looking at the instructions because I knew which way it went, what pieces I need, and you know, the Paragon War Suits are pretty much the same way, I found. So once I built the first one, I knew exactly the parts for the second one. At the same time I was going along, just straight on. I hope the other ones are the same. So I still need to finish building that squad, or those 3 squads. But the answer to this question, I've waffled on, I do apologise, is depends on what the model is and the size of the model, or if it's a squad of guys. The Blight Hauler, the Malefic Blight Hauler, I think took me maybe half an hour to build. Maybe not even that. That is pretty much push fit, but it is very, very straightforward. And it isn't that many pieces. I think it's about 10 pieces, I think. Something like that. But yeah. That was amazing. How long till we see them on the table? For those of you who've never didn't see Monday's painting video, Valerie got one of the votes, so she got painted up. Go and check that out, guys, because it's absolutely, I'm actually really pleased with her. I keep being asked this question about sisters and about Tyranids. How I could probably put Nids on the table tomorrow if I wanted to. Playing against Mark, I'd probably have to, at this point, at this stage of it, I'd probably have to borrow a couple of models from him, a couple of units or something like that. Because I have those units and models, but I just need to finish building them off camera. But the Nids are over 2,000 points. The sisters, I think they're at 1875, I do believe. It's basically another character. Another character should top that list off. But in that list, there are still things I need to build. And most of them actually from the Imperial magazine. But I do believe the models I need to build, the Seraphim and the Arco-Flagellants, I believe in the Imperial magazine they're on the same sprue. And if you bought them separately, if you bought them in from the shop, they would be in their own boxes on their own sprue. So I don't know why they did that. That's something I can't do on camera, because I'm going to show you it on camera, but if you're buying it from the shop, it's going to be totally different. Parts will be the same, it's just the way it's laid out on the sprue will be totally different. So I wanted to have the Nids on the table before Christmas. I wanted to have the sisters on the table shortly after. But how quickly Christmas has just crept around. So hopefully in the new year, I'll have, by the end of January, I'll have both of them would have been on the table at least once. Hopefully. That's what I'm aiming for, that's my plan. And that's what I'm gonna try and stick myself to that. Easiest one for me to do first is Tyranids, because it's not that many left to do. And then once that's can go on the table 1 week, I'm still working on the sisters after that and getting them ready. But yeah, not that far along, not that far to wait before you see them on the table. So I know a few of you are keen to see what crazy ideas I come up with, with those lists. Don't worry, there'll be craziness coming soon. Where did I get my grass tufts from? I think these were bought for me last Christmas, Christmas before, and they're War Painter Scenics actually. That's where they came from, War Painter Scenics. There's an email address on there. Is there? No, there isn't. There isn't, but War Painter Scenics. And I don't know if it's a special Christmas box or if it was just like, if it was just, this is a set you can buy. But that's how it came. Just a whole tub full of different grass tufts. Now, not talking about these types of ones with the flowers on, but just talking about these type of ones, just clumps of grass. You can make your own. It's very, very simple. What you'll need is some greaseproof paper, parchment paper I think some of you call it. You put it on a flat surface, you get some PVA glue and you just do blobs. Okay, get your stacked grass and you just pour it over the top of the blobs. Pick up, give it a little shuffle just to level it off a bit, and then tip the excess onto a newspaper. Okay, a sheet of newspaper, just one piece of newspaper. Why newspaper? Because you can pick it up and you can fold it because it's already got the crease, and it acts like a funnel then to put the excess back into your container where you store it. And leave that to dry. When it's dry, you just peel it off and you'll have like the PVA, I call it plastic, but it's not plastic, but you'll have that base of it with the grass on top. You just super glue that end down, give it a spray of varnish or a spray of hair, hairspray. Once it's, once you super glue it where you want to, and it'll be fine. Alternatively, you can do the glue on parchment paper, do one bit of stacked grass, tip that off, then come with a different type of shade or even a different length and put it on again, but put it on a bit more selectively. Okay, I don't mean place it, I just mean don't cover the blob of glue, just put it to one side of it or just try and put it on top, give it a little shake, tip the excess off, put it back in the container so you don't waste it. You can even then come with a third shade if you want to, For the third stage, you have your little brush, PVA brush. When I say PVA brush, there isn't a particular brush that says PVA, but it's the brush that you use to use PVA glue with. And you can just dab it into the grass here and there, and then do your Gordon Ramsay and just flick the bit of static grass, other shade onto it, tip off the extra, leave it to dry. You know, you can do all that, or you can just buy them. If you don't have the time, the patience, or the space to do that, you can just buy them. War Paint and Scenics is where that came from, but there are so many different places you can buy from. You know, there's so many different places. Basically, any modern place that you can get model stuff from will have grass stuffs. I think even Games Workshop do grass stuffs. But yeah, that's all my questions for this week. So I'm going to bring down, show you the vote. Now, how does the vote work? What's it all about? I show you a host of models, and you guys vote on what you want to paint for next Monday's painting video. In the event of a tie, I do a dice roll. Now, you can vote for as many things as you like, but do not say I vote for everything because it won't count. But you can say I vote for any of the Death Guard, or any of the Space Marines, or any of the Necrons, or any of the Tyranny, and that vote will count. If you're not sure on how to spell something, because some of them have crazy names, just give me a brief description of what it is. Don't say to me it's on the third shelf up, third from the left, because when I'm on the computer looking at the votes, I'm not going to, have this in front of me to look at it. But just give me a brief description of what it is. I will tell you names as I go through for everyone that's new. But yeah, there's no sisters in the vote this week because sisters won last week. You can check out Monday's painting video because she's absolutely amazing. So as I said earlier, there was a heap of models I wanted to just pluck out from different boxes and put on here. Didn't have time, so I did say it the other day with the idea of doing that, but it is what it is. I just have to get on with it. So I'm going to bring down and show you models now, guys. Right, so definitely nice. These are the older sculpts, but they're still absolutely amazing. Look at the detail of the Chaos Legionaries. I actually have 2 squads of 10 of these now. We have a Death Jester for the Eldari. We have Gensealers. We have Captain America for Marvel Crisis Protocol. We have the Death Guard Winged Demon Prince, who's amazing fly wings. We have the Neophyte Hybrids for the Gensealer Cults. Venom's still floating around at the back here. And we have the Connected Doomstalker, who's now back in the boat because there was no Necrons last week in the boat because that's what won the week before. We have Neurogons. We have the Chaos Sorcerer Michael Salanesh. We have the Blade Guard. We have the Wraith Blades for the Eldari. Actually, I have to build another 5 of those because I have an amazing Wraith list ready to go. I just need to do 5 more of those. Anyway, we have the this crazy ass print, which is like a snail type thing with teeth and claws. I use him as a plague beast. We have a Lich Guard. We have the Barbagons, of which I still have 5 of those to build. So if they win the vote, I'm going to have to build those other 5 up sharpish. Because I'd rather paint all 10 of them in one go rather than paint 5 and then have to come back and do another 5 later on. We have Scourges for the Drukari. We have Sisters of Silence. We have the Sergeant, the Inferno Sergeant, who I'm going to use as a Lieutenant with Combat Weapon, which is, pretty cool. We have the Jackals still in the vote. We have the 8-bound still in the vote. We have the Inner Circle Companions. We have the 10th edition Lictor. At the same time of painting that Lictor, I do have another Lictor from the resin one to do at the same time, so it'd be two for one. Yeah, so how you cast your votes, chuck comments below as always. And I look at the votes. I look at the votes actually on Saturday because I know some of you are on different time zone to me. So if I look at them on Friday, you might not be looking at the video till Friday evening. For me, but it's Thursday for you. So I look at them Saturday now. If you have any questions for me, chuck on below as always, guys. If you don't chuck on below because you think people can take the piss and all that, there is no silly questions. Okay, even if it's a question that I've covered before, I'll still answer it again because it's someone new to the channel that hasn't, you know, hasn't gone back and had to look at, you know, every single weekly Wednesday. If you don't want to chuck a comment below, you can go to Unique Wargaming Terrain Facebook page. There's a messenger button there. Click on that and message me directly. I'll answer your question and I'll address it, you know, the following week for everyone else in case, you know, there's other people there sitting wondering the same thing. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button because it costs you nothing, absolutely nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube to this video and more people, which is, makes this amazing community of you guys, and it is amazing, grow even more. So votes below, hit the buttons for me guys, questions below. Until next time, thanks for watching, take it easy.